So this ladybug comes to work and brings videos of me from some of my acting scenes, a lot of sex scenes, a lot of nudity scenes. And he shows all the ladies at work, trying to prove to them that I'm Tripp Ali. This is about to be a story time because this is one of the craziest things that ever happened to me. And it was just a regular day. It was really just a regular day.
I know you see me on the television, I know you see me on the YouTube,
But you don't know me in real life, little homie. You better play it cool.
Love you, cousin Tripp.
If you don't like me, then do somebody. You mad about it, then do somebody. You broke nigga, then do somebody. You ain't getting bitches, then do somebody. Do somebody. Do somebody. Do somebody. Boy, you better do somebody.
So I got this little part-time job. It was around the holiday season. I wanted to, make some extra money. So I went in, I applied for this job, and I actually got the job. It was working like 3 nights a week, just maybe like 4 or 5 hours a day. And that was cool. I did a good job and things like that. And all the management and things, they was always like bigging me up like, yo, you really good and stuff like that. So one time, a manager came to me and was like, yo, if a full-time position comes available, would you take it? And I said, yeah, even though I was really busy with my acting and things like that, I figure I could do both of them. If the schedule was like during the day, I could come here and I could still do my acting and things at night. Plus, it was close to where I live. So I said, yeah. So pretty much every department was trying to get me in their department. Now, while I was working there, it was a manager, a white lady, and she was cool. You could tell that she was a lesbianist, little butch, wore jeans and, baggy shirts and things like that. Now it was this other little kid that was, I knew he got down or whatever, but, I guess he was trying to be DL. A couple of people knew, and I guess the manager knew. He had shared it with some people. So the manager came to me one day, the white lady, and was like, oh, you cool with, so-and-so? And I was like, yeah, he's cool. And she was like, so you family? I was like, family, what you mean? And she was like, he messes around, right? And I was like, I don't know. I don't talk to him about that. And she was like, yeah, He was like, oh, it's okay. I'm married. I'm married to a woman. And I was like, oh, okay. She was like, yeah, so we all family. We got to stick together. Now, I never told her anything. I didn't deny it, but I just was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So she just put 2 and 2 together, or just assumed because I was talking to him that we was all family. So she pretty much wanted me to work in her department. She was like, I want you to apply to come into my apartment. I'm going to, help you get through and things like that. So I was like, cool, So when the opening came up, I applied for her department. I did the whole interview. She gave the job to somebody else. I was just like, okay. It really didn't matter, But another job came available shortly after. And it was a black manager who was really cool, and she called me at home one day and was like, look, this position coming available. I want you in my department. Come up here. I'm going to help you do everything you need to do to get into this job. So she pretty much looked out for me. Long story short, I got the job. So I'm working. Now, I'm very private, I'm very, very private. I don't talk about what I do at work and things like that. I just wanted to be at work doing my thing. So I get the job, and whatever the case may be, for all y'all people who've been missing that. Yeah, so I get the job or whatever the case may be. And I'm working and things like that. Now, it was another guy who worked in my department that a lot of girls used to talk about, talk about some, oh yeah, he gay or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, I heard the rumors about him and things like that. I didn't think he was. I just thought he was quiet and really didn't mess with a lot of people. But because he didn't really talk to a lot of the girls there, they assumed that he got down. So one day, we was working together, and I was driving some machinery, and we did whatever we were supposed to do together. And we was going back, and I asked him, I was like, you want to ride back? And he was like, no, I'm cool. I was like, okay, just joking, being friendly with him, because he was very quiet. So I just say, let me talk to him, have him open up or whatever. So I go back or whatever. A couple hours later, the manager comes to me and talks to me, and she was like, yo, I want to talk to you about something. I'm like, what? She told me that old boy had felt some type of way about me making a pass at him. And I said, making a pass at him? When did I make a pass at him? Like, what are you talking about? He was like, yeah, he felt like, you asked him if he wanted to ride or something. I was like, I was talking about if he, like, that I wasn't making a pass at him. She was like, well, we gonna talk, we don't have to go to the office or nothing like that. Y'all could just talk it out. Maybe it was a misunderstanding. So she get us together, to talk. And, it was kind of getting heated. I was like, yo, you said I made a pass at you? He was like, yeah, I just want you to know I don't get down like that. I don't play around like that. That's not my thing. And I was just like, yo, bro, wait a minute. She was like, hold on. Let's go outside so y'all could talk. I don't want y'all doing this in here, around people and in the cameras and stuff like that. So she was cool. She took us outside. When she took us outside, I got a little ratchet with him. I was like, hey, bro, like, I don't want you. You know what I'm saying? I was just being cool with you. Like, don't ever, don't pump yourself up that much. Like, I'm not that type. You know what I'm saying? I was like, if I did want a dude, you wouldn't be the one I want. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, oh, I'm bad. Like, when I bucked up at him, I was like, bro, you better watch what you're saying about me. You know what I'm saying? He kind of like backed down and was like, oh, okay, well, I'm sorry if it was a misunderstanding. Well, yeah, it was a misunderstanding, bro. Like, you feeling yourself too much, So, that was there, we go back in, and my manager asked me, she like, so do you mess around? And I was like, oh, why you ask me that? She was like, I'm just saying, I mean, it's okay if you do. She was like, because I wouldn't have never knew. My gaydar didn't go off on you. And I was kind of like, still trying to be the nice guy, like, oh, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of people you probably don't know that mess around, you know what I'm saying? And because she helped me out and looked out for me, I kind of felt like it was cool to, not really out myself or whatever, but just didn't deny anything. I'm just like, nah, so, long story short, a couple, weeks go by. The other manager, the white lady who really didn't like the manager in my department, they used to always bump heads and things like that. She came to me and she was like, yo, you need to watch who you talk to around here, or who you talking about around here, because I heard, somebody in the break room saying that you was gay. And I was like, who did you hear saying that? And she was like, well, don't say nothing. And I was like, I'm not going to say nothing. I just want to know who said it. She was like, the manager, your department manager. I was fuming. I was like, yo, a manager going around saying that? She was like, yeah. So I was heated. I goes back there immediately. I was like, yo, like, you going around telling people that I'm, you know what I'm saying? She was like, who told you that? I was like, it don't matter who told me. Like, did you say it? She was like, I would never say nothing like that. That's not me. I would never do that. This and this and that. And I was just like, okay, I kind of believed her, and I kind of felt like the white manager was trying to throw her under the bus because she didn't like her. And at that point, I just was like, I'm gonna just let it go. I ain't gonna bring nothing up. But, these little situations that just kept happening in the building, people saying things and this and that. And, so, that went there, and a lot of times I kept having to swallow the way I feel just to get along and get by in the place. Now, I let it go, so later on, a few months later, this new dude, he starts working. He's working at the cash register, just this openly flamboyant, ladybug type dude, and loud mouth, flirting with people. And I tried to avoid this dude at all costs. You know what I'm saying? Because I just didn't want nothing. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't go around. Like, I didn't make eye contact with him or nothing. But he had told some other girls in the building, like, oh yeah, who is that? He's sexy, and the girls up there, they all liking them and kikiing and laughing with him and things like that. And my homegirl told me, like, oh, he got a crush on you. He always, and I was just like, nah, that ain't gonna happen. That's like, no, so, one day, my homegirl called me while I'm at home, and she's like, yo, I gotta tell you something. Don't be mad that you gonna be, like, I was like, what is it? She was like, the boy who worked at the cash register up front? And I was like, yeah. He was like, this boy brought videos of you up there. You was like, having sex with some dude. I was just like, what? And she was like, yeah, it was like, and she was like, it had your name on there, starring Tripp and all of this. And I was just like, what made him do that? And she was like, he was talking about he know you and you an actor and this and that, and he knew you from somewhere. So he brought, and I was like, who he showed the video? He was like, he showed all the cash register ladies, like everybody on the front end he showed. And I was just like, wow, like really? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, I'm gonna fuck him up when I get to, they was like, no, don't do that. It ain't worth losing your job. I was just like, that's just inappropriate or whatever the case may be. So, I goes to work or whatever, come to find out, he got in trouble for that without me saying anything. Somebody else told, and they ended up firing him. But that's not where it gets bad at. Like, I was always like, the whole deal thing, like for me to be so open and doing things and acting and my family knowing and being in relationships and things like that, it still was a place where I still didn't feel comfortable being myself. And I always, found myself letting people say things and it hurting me, like, that they spread and stuff, and just really not being able to walk in my truth, and, just in the workplace, and it just always felt uncomfortable. Like, when people will ask me things, and a lot of this stuff came from girls, you know what I'm saying? But the thing where it got crazy at, and it was situation after situation that was happening. The last situation was this girl, who I was cool with. Like I say, I got a very good personality. Everybody usually like me, to my face. I don't know how they feel behind my back. But the same guy who accused me of, making a pass at him, overheard old girl telling a customer that, oh, he probably helped you because he liked you. So pretty much the customer was like, yeah, I was back there, Ali helped me do this and do that, he's very good. And she was just like, oh, he probably helped you because he think you cute. And the customer was like, what? What you mean? And she was like, oh, you ain't know? He gay. So a boy comes back there and he tells me right away, he was like, yo, I got to talk to you. Like, I wouldn't even come to you, but it's wrong. He was like, oh, girl, I heard her I overheard her telling somebody that you was helping. And he told me the whole thing. And I was like, yo, I'm heated at this point. So I goes and I tries to find a manager. And I'm like, I'm so heated, like my blood is boiling, because for the simple fact is, it's just like, you don't go telling nobody's business to a customer. You don't know who this person is or how he feel about things, and he might felt some type of way. It was just uncalled for, and this is the place I work at, So I go and find a manager, And I'm literally just like ready to walk out. You know what I'm saying? She like, you know, what's wrong? What's wrong? I'm like, yo, girl was telling somebody this and that, whoop de whoop. And I was just like, yo, that's inappropriate in the workplace. Like, why is she doing it? She was like, oh, calm down, calm down. You want me to call her in the office so you could talk to her? I was like, yeah. So we walked to the office. She calls and page her. Oh, girl comes to the office like, hey, what's up? And she was like, well, you know, Ali wanted to talk to you about something. You know, he heard some things, you know, that you said or whatever. So I asked her, I was like, did you tell a customer that I only helped him because I thought I was cute? She was like, no, I ain't say that. I was like, look, before you get to lying, and somebody overheard you saying it, you know, and it was just like, she was like, I don't know. I didn't say that. I don't, that ain't none of my business what you do. I ain't never said. And I was like, see, I tried to do it the right way and come and talk to you so we could get some clarity and some understanding about it. But if you gonna lie to me, I'm gonna just go to HR and report it. Then she was like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean nothing by it, this or that. And I was just like, well, why you like, why would you do something like that? I don't know. I was just like, you know, the fact that you lied about it and stuff like that, I still don't feel comfortable with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna go to HR. And then this is where it got crazy. The manager was like, well, I don't think you should go to HR about it. You know, I mean, she feel the way a whole bunch of us in here feel. Like, I mean, I want to know, you know, if you gay too. So now I just could feel the whole room closing in on me. You know, the manager that I went to get help, you know, to understand my point, you know, kind of siding with old girl. And just, she tells me, like, I wanted to know if he was too. So I look at both of them and I'm like, wow. So I leave out. And I mean, it was bothering me for days and days on end. So I eventually ended up filing a lawsuit. And I really can't tell y'all where the place is and things like that because, you know, I won the lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? I went to the EEOC or whatever, things like that. And we went through a whole investigation and things like that. And they ended up paying me because it was wrong, you know, especially when the manager came out and really, you know, said that. But the whole moral to the story is, it's just like a lot of times, you know, women and it's always women, you know what I'm saying? Like, they was all cool with the, you know, ladybug in the front office laughing and talking with them and everything's all cool. But when you're a masculine dude and you carry yourself a certain way, it's like they act like you betraying them or you got something to hide or things like that. And it's their business. Like, they can't stand the fact that a masculine dude, you know, is not attracted to them, you know, and it just burns them up to the point where they got to talk about it. Like, I didn't see them spreading rumors about nobody else in the building, but with me, it was always a topic of discussion. And it's just like a lot of women do this, you know, especially black women. It's just like, I don't understand it. You know, what's the big deal and what's the problem? You know, y'all so bent up out of shape because, you know, another guy ain't available to you. I mean, like, most of y'all dudes is in prison or in jail or dead. You know, you don't have to worry about the guys that's not attracted to you. You know, and the whole thing is, man, the reason why I went to the EEOC because I just felt tired of just taking all of that over and over. You know what I'm saying? Allegations and rumors and things like that, going to people and people throwing me under the bus and using me to hurt other people and things like that. And it just felt like an unfair place, you know, to be, you know, and all I ever did was went to work, did a good job, made everybody laugh, had a great time, but I always had to take that. And I feel like for a lot of us, we take that in the workplace and we laugh it off and joke it off when it's really something that really hurt us that we really don't like. You know, you trying to figure out people's sexuality and talking about them behind their back and things like that is never right, you know. And I don't really see that happening to the feminine male or the dude that's more out. And to be honest, you know, when I seen guys come in there like that, you know, it just was like, kudos to you for being free and being in your truth. I mean, I'm just not that type of person that's, you know, out where you could just tell, like, from off the rip, you know. But when you're not trying to holler at the girls and you're not trying to hit, you know, I had been there for a while, never messed around with no women, wasn't trying to get with none of them. You know, they start to speculate because they're attracted to you. And they want to know how you get down. And then these women go and spread all of these things and think they can say whatever they want to say and do whatever they want to do. And you're supposed to just suck it up and be like, cool with it. Nah, it's not cool, you know. But I do understand, you know, being private in the workplace and not wanting people into your business like that. But it's always, you know, it's hard sometimes, you know. It really is. And that was just a weird experience to go through. You know, if you in a situation like that where people is making you feel uncomfortable and you feel like you got to be there because that's where your work at and your money, and you constantly suck it up and, you know, leave with your feelings hurt or feeling some type of way, and you got to deal with this every single day, man, don't take that. You know, find another place to work or find something else to do. You know, you don't have to be, you know, dealing with that every day. It was crazy, you know. I went through the whole thing, and, you know, they offered me a settlement and I took it. You know, I wasn't really planning on getting no money from it. I just wanted them to stop doing that to people. But they felt like that was the thing to do to make me feel better. And I ended up leaving the job. And yeah, man, you know, don't take that from nobody. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth it. It's not worth your peace of mind, your spirit, and things like that, you know. And a lot of times I do feel bad because, you know, even being a person that's honest and true about who you are, you go into certain situations where you do feel like you put back into that box or put back into that closet where you scared to be who you are, you know, around straight people or around women and things like that, because you scared of what they might think of you, or you just don't want to deal with, you know, having to answer questions. You know, people make little jokes and passes and out you, and you just got to suck it up every time. I know how y'all feel, man, you know. I felt good afterwards. And it's never the dudes. You know, the dudes already knew if they came to me and was saying something crazy, I could ask y'all, you know, I could tell y'all, like, yo, meet me after work. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to show you what it's about. You know, because there ain't no disrespect coming from no man. But it's the women who do it. Man, I just wanted to share a little story time with y'all, man. If you ever been in a situation like that, you know, and you got something to add to it, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Make sure you subscribe to, you know, Tripp Plugged. And I'm going to holler at y'all on the next video. Thumbs up this video, man. I'm out.